If you start to understand lane control, you'll realize how much power you actually have in your hands. Controlling your lane gives your team a stable foundation. It lets them rotate freely, fight with better vision, and even come back from a losing early game. This video is going to walk you through 6 ways to master your lane in Mobile Legends, and I won't name heroes or give examples, because what you really need is solid fundamentals, clear thinking, and good decisions, no matter who you're playing. Number 1. Understand your lane's role in the bigger picture. When you load into a match, it's easy to think of your lane as just a battleground between you and whoever is standing across from you, but that mindset is limited. Every lane has a bigger purpose depending on where it is on the map, how close it is to objectives, and what pressure it creates when you win or lose control of it. If you see it only as a 1v1 fight, you miss the part where your lane connects to the jungle path, impacts your team's vision, and determines which side of the map your teammates can play safely. When you fully understand that your lane isn't a solo mission but part of a larger system, you begin to treat it with more awareness. You stop pushing just because you can. You start asking yourself what pressure your lane creates, and how to use that pressure to support your team, open up vision for your jungler, or distract enemies during key rotations. This is important because the faster you understand that your lane affects everyone, not just you, the faster you'll realize that mastering your lane is about serving the bigger plan, not just your personal scoreboard. Number 2. Focus on wave control, not just fighting. The way you manage the minion wave in lane has more impact on the game than most players realize. A lot of people get distracted trying to poke their opponent, zone them out, or chase flashy early kills, but real laning mastery comes from being able to dictate the wave, knowing when to clear it fast, when to hold it near your turret, and when to freeze it just outside enemy tower range. You're not just killing minions, you're controlling space, time, and safety. When you manage your wave well, you can deny your opponent gold and experience, create windows for your jungler to gank, or set up your own rotations across the map. Wave control also affects how much information the enemy gets. For example, if they're forced to show up to clear a wave under turret, you know exactly where they are. But if you mismanage it, if you push without a purpose, or clear it just to look active, you give up that control. A well-managed wave acts like an invisible advantage. It forces your opponent to play on your terms, and it gives your team opportunities without forcing risky fights. Over time, mastering this alone will win you more games than trying to outfight everyone in your lane. Number 3. Always be aware of the map, not just your lane. You might be doing great in lane, farming well, staying safe, keeping pressure, but if you're not watching the map, you're only playing half the game. So many players get tunnel vision and focus only on what's in front of them, their opponent, the minions, and their turret. But the truth is, what happens outside your lane will impact you whether you pay attention or not. If an enemy goes missing and you don't notice, you could get flanked. If your team starts an objective and you're too late to rotate, you miss your impact. And sometimes, even just a quick look at the minimap lets you warn your teammates about a gank or a push they didn't see coming. Map awareness gives you information, and information gives you options. You can decide when to back off, when to go all in, when to rotate to help your team, or when to stay in lane because your job is to apply pressure while your team fights elsewhere. Watching the map keeps you connected to the game, and once you build the habit of checking it often, you'll start seeing opportunities you used to miss, and avoiding dangers that used to cost you everything. Number 4. Time your aggression based on pressure, not to motion. A lot of players make aggressive moves just because they feel strong. Maybe they hit level 4 first, maybe they've got full health, or maybe they're just mad after losing an early trade. But emotional aggression usually leads to bad trades, wasted skills, or worse, feeding a lead to the enemy. Real mastery means staying calm, collecting information, and only choosing to fight when it makes sense. That means checking the minimap to make sure the enemy jungler isn't nearby. That means waiting until your lane is in a good position and your cooldowns are ready. And it also means understanding when not to fight, even if you're ahead, because fighting without map control or vision can easily flip the match in the enemy's favor. Timed aggression isn't just safer, it's smarter. It lets you punish mistakes cleanly, without chasing or risking too much. And more importantly, it builds trust with your team. When they see that you're not just diving in randomly, but choosing your moments carefully, they're more likely to back you up, rotate for you, and play around your side of the map. That kind of trust can shift the energy of the entire game. Number 5. Learn when to rotate and when to stay. One of the hardest skills to develop in Mobile Legends is knowing exactly when to leave your lane and when to stay put. A lot of players rotate too early, leaving their turret exposed and missing out on valuable XP and gold. Others stay in lane too long, even when their presence could have helped secure a team fight, turtle, or even a game-changing push. So how do you know when to go? It comes down to wave state, map vision, and enemy pressure. If your wave is pushed safely, your turret isn't at risk, and your team is grouping up for a fight or an objective, that's a good time to rotate. But if you're going to leave your lane unattended just to gamble on a fight that hasn't started yet, you're better off staying and applying pressure from your lane to force the enemy to respond. This is important because smart rotations create openings, but bad ones create gaps that the enemy can easily punish. Learning when to move is about looking beyond your lane and asking, does my team actually need me right now? And if I leave, what will I lose? If you time it right, your rotations will start winning games. But if you move blindly, you'll often give away more than you gain. Number 6, stay calm even when you're behind. Every player has games where the lane goes badly. Maybe you got outplayed early, maybe you made a mistake, or maybe the enemy just had better early pressure. But that doesn't mean the game is over. The best laners know how to play from behind without tilting. They don't chase risky kills, they don't flame their teammates, and they don't give up. They sit under turret, farm what they can, protect the lane, and wait for opportunities, because they know that staying relevant matters more than trying to flip the lane in one fight. Sometimes, just staying alive and farming can buy you enough time for your team to come online. Other times, the enemy gets greedy and you punish them. Either way, the key is to breathe, accept the position you're in, and focus on what you can control. Tilted players feed, but calm players recover. And when you can stay composed even in a losing situation, you become an anchor for your team, someone they can rely on, someone who doesn't make it worse, and someone who might just help lead the comeback if the game drags into mid or late. So next time you load into a match, ask yourself, am I really controlling my lane, or am I just reacting to the enemy? Because once you apply these 6 core ideas, you'll start to feel that control return.